Hello, hello. It's Julie Davison and Susan LaCroix. Welcome to Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie. We're so glad that you're joining us this week as we share new Stampin' Up! Projects featuring the same product. Mom and I live 2 states away. She's in Wyandotte, Michigan, and I'm in Champaign, Illinois. And so we don't get to stamp in person very often. So Sunday Stamping is our way to share projects not only with each other, but also with you. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our channels so that you don't miss out on these weekly videos every Sunday at noon Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Today is Sunday, March 19th, 2023. And I am fresh back from my trip to Utah, but we still pre-recorded this. So it's actually still February as we're recording this video. We worked really hard to get videos for you for the entire month of March, even though we were both traveling quite a bit. So we can't really tell you how our trips were, but I'm sure that we are both going to have a fabulous time, especially as we had our few days together in St. George last week. So I'll skip the "how was your week, Mom?" And I don't know. I don't know how much we have to say since we are filming a month in advance. Maybe we should just skip right to the product part.
I think we probably should because, as you said, we don't really have anything to say. Because I got home a few days before you. So, yeah, just trying to unpack and settle. So,
yes, I'm glad that we're pre-recording so that we don't have to worry about trying to get the video in. So we both are back at home as this is airing on March 19th, and we'll be back to filming again a little closer to when it airs.
Yes.
But for the meantime, we're still working through the mini catalog and sharing some products. So I'm going to turn the camera over to your desktop, Mom, and so you can share with everybody what product suite we are using today.
Okay, so as Julie mentioned, we are working our way through the mini catalog. There is like 5 weeks left of this catalog and the annual. So we're looking forward to seeing what's in the new catalog coming up. But for today, we are using the Fancy Flora suite on pages 14 and 15 in the mini catalog. And it's actually a mega suite because you'll notice that there are two bundles, 2 kinds of paper, 2 different embellishments. So that is pretty awesome. And then if you want to turn and get a larger view and more samples on pages 16 and 17, you can do that as well. So I'm going to show you the real stuff. How's that? All right.
That Something Fancy is one of my favorite bundles in the catalog. I just think it's so versatile and goes with so many things.
Well, let's start with that then. Okay, so so here is the Something Fancy stamp set. It's all greetings. And there's some different ones. And, you know, along with happy birthday and congratulations, there's you matter to so many with deepest sympathy. I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. May the good you do come back to you. Nothing fancy, just love. Here's to beautiful beginnings and happily ever afters. Thank you. And grateful for the everyday magic of you. And so there's a mixed font with this. There's some script as well as some, I don't know, is that Arial or something? I'm not sure what this font is, but
like a block font and a script font.
And then this is what is so exciting. These dies, because they are absolutely lovely. You've got 3 of this shape that nest together. You've got 2 of these. You've got a couple of these. You've got the slanted one. I like to do that sometimes, is just snip at an angle. And then you've got some dies that will fit into these. So there's some leaves and like a tulip with leaves and then just like a teardrop. So really interesting and fun dies. And then here's the flowers. 2-tone Flora. This is a photopolymer stamp. The Something Fancy is a cling. So we get both in this mega suite. Lots of flowers, lots of different sizes, some leaves, some innards of the flowers.
Innards.
And then this is the die set that goes with that. There's this great big, literally fits on one page. And then like 3 of the flowers, four of the flowers. There are dies for those, dies for the leaves. And this little, I think this one die cuts this little guy. So I mean, look at this. This is fantastic. So those are the bundles. And then there's this paper, which, wow, I recently saw the Van Gogh exhibit, and I was truly inspired with this paper and his work, by the way. So this is, oh gosh, 6 by 6. You get 48 sheets. And the colors in here are Balmy Blue, Basic Gray, Calypso Coral, Daffodil Delight, Evening Evergreen, Fresh Freesia, Night of Navy, Orchid Oasis, Pool Party, Soft Seafoam, Soft Suede, and Soft Silk. That's a lot of colors, which kind of almost made it hard. I mean, you know, last week you talked about you struggling with your project. That was me this week. So there's this one. Look at those bold watermarks. This one is my absolute favorite out of all of them, for no other reason than the colors.
Yeah.
And so this I used on a club project, and yeah, I just love it. And then here's the back side of that one.
And these are all painted by Stampin' Up artists. Like they paint them, and then they make the artwork digital and use it for our papers, and they will fine tune the colors to coordinate better with our cardstock. But it always just amazes me. I would love to have any one of these artworks in my home. I just think they're so beautiful.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that could be like a sky and water, and take your pick. I mean, and the B side is fascinating too. This is another one of my favorites.
It's the colors.
It is.
Yeah.
Is. Absolutely. I'm not going to repeat all those colors again.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, I do too. I'm not even sure which way it goes. I don't even know if it matters.
No, I don't think it has a direction. I think that's kind of the point.
This kind of reminds me of Easter.
Yes.
That one too. I love this one too.
They're kind of like, it's paint, but it almost looks like petals.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So that is that designer series paper. And then there's a 12 by 12. You get, this is fine shimmer. And this is, I love this. It's so soft. You know, it just, I don't know. So
I don't think the camera does it justice.
Oh, no.
It's a shimmer, not a glitter or a glimmer. So there's nothing that's going to flake off. It just has a nice, like a fine, it looks sort of glittery, but it's not at all. Just sort of a very fine, shimmer.
I think this is soft succulent.
Mm-hmm.
This one is freesia, fresh freesia.
Yep.
And then gold. And
Love
again,
it.
I can't, all I can say is that it's soft.
Mm-hmm.
Soft. Huh. Okay, so those are the papers and the bundles. And then we have this ribbon. This is Balmy Blue.
It's Pool Party.
I'm sorry, it's Pool Party. Why did I say Balmy Blue?
Because Balmy Blue is the color in the designer paper. I don't know why they put a Pool Party ribbon in this suite.
Yeah, you're right. But anyway, here's Pool Party. It's a green. So you know, we love our grosgrain ribbon. And then there's these fun embellishments. These are iridescent pastel gems. And I've been using them on a lot of other projects, even not necessarily with this project or paper.
That does not surprise me, because I was going to say this is your kind of embellishment.
Yeah, it is those iridescent gems. So really pretty. Love, love, love them. All right, I can show you my samples if you want while I've got them here, Jules, before you
Yeah,
get started.
let's see them.
Okay. So this one, let me just move some of this out of the way. So this one is from Anna Masternak. It was a swap. And she die cut that big die out in basic white and took just a little bit of the Freesia shimmer paper under there and used a couple of the tags and a white crinkled bow. And then she used the pastel pearls. And it really goes very well. So there's that one. Here's the one that I did for Hostess Club.
So pretty.
So yeah, just pulled in the evening evergreen and took some of that gold shimmer and then matted the designer series paper with some soft suede. And here's the inside. So I did the same thing on the inside. I gave it another layer.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite cards, I think. And then this one I just kind of put together using some Orchid Oasis.
Oh, I love that.
Because Julie has pointed out several times that the DSP does most of the work.
Yeah.
Our DSP, and in this, because it's like a hand-painted image, I don't know. I just I really felt compelled. And you can do that with almost any one of these. This was the other one I was thinking about using for this card.
That's lovely.
But this is what I settled on.
I love that.
Some of the shimmer paper under that. And the greeting is stamped on the flip side of a scrap of that. Because it's
okay. I thought it was white. So it's a lighter color of designer paper.
Yes, it's the flip side of this one.
Okay.
And then I used some of the gems, which on the package look blue, but they really coordinated very well with this.
I think they're kind of like chameleon gems.
I think you're right.
They kind of like take on the color of what they're near.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, Julie, are you ready?
I am. Let me switch the camera over to my desktop. And as I often am, I was inspired by our cover girl, two-tone Floras right there on the front of the mini catalog. And I just thought that this card was so much fun. They actually die cut this from designer paper with that giant die. I think there's a couple other color variations. Maybe, well, so here's some more samples using that suite on the inside cover. And then I thought there were a couple more. Oh, maybe not. I guess they're online. Maybe it's on the back cover. No. Okay, well, somewhere I saw two other versions of this card with other designer paper, other colors. But this is what inspired my card today. And so instead of making a square card, I'm going to make a regular size card, but I'm going to use some of the die cut piece, the big border. I did that in white. And I'm going to layer it on a white piece that I cut with the Stylish Shape dies, one of my favorites. And then I'm going to layer onto some designer paper. So I picked this one with the Night of Navy and the Orchid Oasis. And so we're going to do a little bit of stamping and a little bit of embossing for the sentiment. Going to keep it kind of, I say kind of simple, but like, there's nothing simple about die cutting this. I usually don't go for big detailed dies like this, but I really thought this one was so beautiful. So I took some time to do all the poking. Now I don't want this whole thing. I'm going to kind of just, this is the part where I struggled with. So I want to make sure that I'm going not there. And I put some adhesive on the other side, and then I'm just going to cut off the, the rest of it, because it's going to be only showing through the window. So I'm just going to kind of get in here and snip.
After all the work of die cutting and pulling out all those chas, you're cutting it up.
I know. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I cut a couple of them out. And I waited to do this until the video because like it kind of pained me to cut it, but I think the result is going to be really cool and worth it. Like, isn't that awesome?
That is beautiful.
I think you can put that on any of the designer papers, but I decided to go with the blue. So I'm going to do some Stampin'
Pretty.
Dimensionals to kind of make that pop. And then we're going to add some elements sort of in the corner and the top. So I'm going to do some stamping. I'm going to show you the two-step stamping, and then I'm going to do a magic of TV bit. Now I'm using the smaller flowers. And again, there's two steps here. I found that it's easiest to do the detail part first. And so I'm going to stamp the what would be like the detail layer of the flowers in Night of Navy. And then I'm also going to stamp the that big leaf. I'm going to do that in navy as well. And originally I chose balmy blue because I choose colors based on the designer paper, but I wanted to incorporate some of the ribbon, and that's Pool Party. So I switched it up and I did Pool Party. And so I'm going to come in with that two-step stamp. And I have to tell you, it is a little like, which way does this go? And so if you feel like it doesn't line up one way, then try to switch it around. But if you do the dark detail first, then you should be able to line up the center of the flowers where those little holes are with the center of these flowers here. So you're just going to line those up, and then you can come down and it'll be lined up perfectly to create that two-step image there. So dark detail first, and that'll help you line up to see through with the lighter color. So you're going to send that through with the coordinating dies that are in this set, and you're going to have your die cut images. And then I'm going to do some sentiments, and we're going to do the one on the inside first. I've got just a piece of cardstock that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. Just like our regular inside piece. I almost messed this up because I was thinking this was a vertical card, but I changed it at the last minute and decided to go landscape, which I think I'm really gonna like better. So our landscape card, I'm going to do may the good you do come back to you. And I kind of want to add some flowers, so I'm going to pretty inside. And so that's going to go on the inside of the card. And then for the outside sentiment, I have die cut from the Navy Cardstock, one of the tags from the Something Fancy dies. And I'm going to use the embossing buddy. This comes in the embossing additions toolkit. It's got the tray and the brush and the tweezers. I know I talked about this last time. This was something that was in the last mini catalog and it carried over. So it's still available. It's not printed in the catalog, I don't think, but you can still find it in the online store. And so you can still order it as on any kind of order. And it will be back, I think probably in the annual catalog when they publish that in just a few weeks. So. That's going to come out.
I hope so.
It seems like a pretty, standard kind of item that I think that they would carry it over. It seems silly to just have it for a few months. I'm using white embossing powder, and I'm going to have my tweezers help me tap. Oh okay.
Okay.
I'm not going to use my tweezers. I'm just going to dump more powder on it. It's going to be fine. Oh my goodness. Okay. Use that brush to kind of brush off all the little bits of embossing powder that you don't want melted, because if you leave them there, they will melt and you'll have sort of this like, not popcorn, but you'll just have like stray bits of embossing powder where you don't necessarily want it. So good tapping. Use your brush to get off those extra. Oh my goodness gracious, Julie.
I was doing that very same thing on a project that I was working on. And as I was trying to brush off the little bits, Bella jumped up on me and I ended up brushing off half the sentiment.
Oh my gosh.
So keep your dogs at bay.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say she knocked over the whole jar. That would be such a mess.
No, fortunately, she's not tall enough to be able to do that.
I'm using the heat tool to melt the powder. So I'm just gonna melt it, and it's a little bit harder with the white to see the difference. You can tell more with the gold that I used last week, but it kind of goes from dull to shiny. So that's what we're looking for here. As you're embossing and melting. And once it looks like it's all melted, then you're good to go. Last week I showed you my gold embossing powder with the dark blue logo, and here's the next version of logos for embossing powders. I really need to get some new embossing powders. I'm using some old ones. Let's get our card put together now. So I'm using a Night of Navy card base. It's just the regular 5.5 by 8.5. And going to just add that inside piece with the snail adhesive. Use a bone folder, get a nice good crease on the fold. The designer paper is 4.25 by 5.5. So I cut it to fill the entire card front because I really wanted there to be a lot of the designer paper pattern showing on the outside of the white piece that we're adding. So you can see the border of that paper, and you can also see through it. Not that it matters, but I did intend to put the darker on this side. Oh man.
It'll work.
It's fine. Okay, so the white cardstock that I die cut the circle from is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And I'm going to put this on with Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm going to do one in the corners and some extra ones on the end. Usually I like to kind of add some supportive pieces, but there's not, I mean, I guess you could get some little ones and put them in there. I think it'll be okay. So I'm going to add this to the card front with Stampin' Dimensionals, and we're just going to go right in the center with it. No, okay, go this way. Making sure it's opening right. Okay, right in the center. Okay, so we have our sentiment, we have our flowers, and we're going to add our ribbon in here too. So let's start with the ribbon. I thought about doing some like a fold over, and what I decided was just to add 2 flat pieces of ribbon. I wanted to have 2 pieces to give it just like a little bit of motion, but having them flat really gave me more flexibility to kind of move them and have them be, you know, where I wanted them, and they could sit a little more flat. So I'm going to put those down at the bottom and use some Stampin' Dimensionals to add the sentiment, the tag. And I'm overlapping that circle. Then we're going to do some regular adhesive to add the leaves in the Night of Navy. And then I want to put this on with a Stampin' Dimensional so it kind of matches where the tag is as far as the height goes. So I'm going to put 1 dimensional on that and just kind of tuck that
nice
up there.
How pretty.
Thank you. We're not done though. We got to add some bling.
Yeah, girl.
So I'm going to use the gems that look blue. I did not practice this, so I'm trying to figure out where I want them to go. Oh, it's so hard. You know what? I'm actually going to put them, I think, over here. Where did it evaporated?
What are you looking for?
Oh, the little one. Okay, I'm gonna do 2, and then I think I'm gonna do 1 down there. What do you think of that?
I like it.
You matter to so many. May the good you do come back to you.
Yep, that's so sweet.
Oh my gosh, I love this. So let me show you the other cards that I've made. I did this one, and this is another one where it didn't die cut quite all the way in the corner, so I just decided to cut it off and do to do a half page of it. And then I added some of the shimmer back here. I did some more embossing on the tag, and then another die cut there on the inside with the flowers. Here's to beautiful beginnings and happily ever after. Here's another one with the two-step flowers. This is a card swap from Angie Leach. I love the colors here. Pool Party and Orchid Oasis, and a little bit of, I was gonna say balmy blue. Yeah, balmy blue in there. She used both those blues. And then here's one that I did. Let me take it out of plastic so you can see. This is a technique I've shared before in another one of our videos where I used the silicone craft mat to emboss with the big die to create the design in the background. And then of course I covered it up with flowers so you don't see it very well, but it's really beautiful the way that you can use that die without having to fuss and die cut with it. So got that, and then on the inside, grateful for the everyday magic of you. Nice. So those are my cards with the two-tone floral. I can't wait to see what you came up with. Let's switch the camera over to your desktop, Mom.
Okay. So as I mentioned, it would help if I was in camera. As I mentioned, I struggled mightily with this card. I actually have everything stamped and die cut, I think, here, except I need to do the greeting. So I use some of that shimmer paper to do the big floral piece. And it is quite fussy. And my struggle was, what do I put under it? So I tried a multitude of different designer papers and cardstocks. And so I decided just to set that aside. And so I chose the paper, that making sure I had some of the succulents in there. And I went with the Calypso Coral card base. I don't have measurements, as you can see, because it's a standard, and I'll have them in the description. And then, like Julie, I cut this down to fit right along the card right there. So we're going to go ahead and glue that on. And there's some of the remnant. You'll see this piece. I'm going to stamp the greeting on that. I like doing that. It kind of pulls the paper together, and I use up some of my scraps. All right. So let's put this on our card front, and then we're going to adhere this over it. And I was debating whether or not I should use dimensionals, but I think not. I think I'm going to use some liquid glue.
I think with all the fine detail on that die, I don't know. I worry about it sagging in so many places, but I guess if you could get enough dimensionals to prop up in key places.
Yeah, I think I'll just use the liquid and have to play a little more with this.
After I die cut all of mine, I thought, oh, I should have used those adhesive sheets.
Yeah, I thought about using the adhesive sheet because I keep forgetting about it. However, because of the detail of this, I wasn't sure how that would work with trying to get them all out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my experience actually is that sometimes it helps keep all the pieces kind of together and contained a little better.
Yeah.
So I would definitely suggest, if you have them at home, give them a try with this die. It is this kind of die that it's made so perfectly for those adhesive sheets.
That's true. But I didn't, so let's just continue my
I didn't either. It's okay.
Anyway, I'm hoping I have enough liquid glue on here. All right, let's give this a go. So then I guess, do I want this horizontal? I think I designed it horizontal. Nope, it's going to go horizontal, period. End of story. And this, you mean also, vertical? Yes, portrait. Ignore what I said, just listen to what I mean. So this die is the same thing. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it also fits right over that.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to kind of be careful what DSP you use because it's so busy under there.
Yeah.
So All right, so now it's layout time. I'm gonna go ahead and I didn't do an inside on this one. Shame on me.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, Lordy. Okay. So let me just get all my elements here so I don't forget anything.
Okay, so on the flowers, did you do the two-step stamping or did you use
I did.
blending brushes?
I did. And oh shoot, I still wanted to use the blending brushes around the edge, but I don't know where my blending brush went that I was using. But I still can. I'll pull it up real quick. All right, so let's get I'm grateful for the everyday magic of you.
On the tag, on the tag.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's try that again. All right. Ta-da.
Oh, I love it.
So this is going to go down probably around here. I'm going to layer this over that. This over okay. And I die cut out some of these succulent leaves and they realized I hadn't stamped them. So I, believe it or not,
hey, you did pretty good.
Yeah. This one is not as good, but yeah. So I'm thinking of, I don't know where I want to put this. Let me place my flowers where I kind of want them. Yeah, I'm just kind of doing this. Let me tuck this one under here. Put this one over here. And then maybe this one here. What do you think, Jay?
I love it. I think I would lift the die up, or not the die, the tag, and have the tag be on top of the flowers.
Oh, okay. Really? Ooh, like so? Well,
I think so.
come back, baby. Come back, baby. All right. And this one on top, maybe?
Hmm. Oh my gosh. Adding the leaves just like pulls it all together.
Yeah.
I think I would do one on the bottom and two on top of the flowers.
Okay.
Because you have more of the card space on top.
Yeah. That's true. Is that too much with the leaves?
I like it.
I mean, with the leaves on the bottom.
Oh, maybe tuck the bottom leaf in a little bit more.
All right.
And then like on the opposite end, you could pull the top leaf up a little so that you can see more of it.
I gotta start gluing this stuff down because let me close this up. All right, so let me start with, all right, remember this, Julie.
I'd start in the bottom corner and kind of like arrange your flowers on a diagonal. You know what I mean? So the spray's kind of coming down the cards. If you sort of think of that and starting at the bottom and working your spray of flowers up to the top corner. Or work from the top down. But either way, I think if you kind of think about that diagonal kind of spray.
Like that?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh no! Where did that ink come from?
My finger probably.
Well, make sure your finger's clean before you do it again.
All right.
Do you have some sanitizer on the table?
Somewhere. I'll just try this. Let's do this. I hate when that happens.
Oh.
Okay. This is probably where I got it from, right there. All right.
Make sure your fingers are clean.
Yep. All right. So I think if I do something like this.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to start there. So I'm going to put this one on. This one on. Oh, come back here. Oh, nuts. Oh, get out of there. I have a dimensional that keeps wanting to be in the picture.
Oh.
All right, so there, that goes there. And then I think I'm going to do this. Before I push it down. Yeah. And then this.
I think up a little higher on that one.
This one, okay. Like so?
Yeah, I think that's where you had it.
Okay. And then I'm going to pop this one.
Yes.
All right. Now we're going to put this guy down here.
I'm sorry if I missed it, but is that designer paper or cardstock, that piece?
This is the flip side of the designer series paper I cut down.
Okay. Love it.
I like to use up my remnants. Okay. And then this guy is going to go, I think, under here, like so.
Yes. Oh, I love this.
But I don't know that I'm going to pop this one. No, I'm not going to pop it.
I was going to say, I think you could go either way.
Whoop.
Oh, this is turning out so lovely.
And I appreciate your help because I'm telling you, I was ready to pull my hair out. Literally. I thought, why am I struggling so much with this card? This paper is gorgeous. This shouldn't be so hard.
Yeah.
All right,
So now
we're not done.
Now you just need some bling to finish this off.
Yep. Exactly. So I'm going to do these.
Yes.
So I think I'm gonna, do I want them in the centers of the flowers next, or do I want them?
Oh gosh, you could do so many things. I think I would either do the centers of the flowers or I would do the ends of the pink strip.
I am going to do the centers of the flowers. This kind of ties it all in, I think.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I love this.
Oh, I'm so glad because I'll never make it again.
Oh,
I'm teasing. I'm teasing. Really, I am. So here it is, finally. And I apologize, I don't have an inside piece. I was so focused on the front. So
that's for someone you really, really love. That card.
It isn't that difficult. It just I just struggled. I don't know why.
Yeah, that happens to all of us. Like you said, that was me last week.
All right. And I think I've already done my sample. So yeah, we're good to switch the cameras and show them off. All
right, let's do that. Oh, the two-tone Flora bundle. And what was the name of this designer paper again? Fancy Flora?
Fancy Flora?
Fancy, I forgot it already.
And what's your excuse? I'm old, so
yes, Fancy Flora designer paper. And sweet. Oh my gosh, these are just so fantastic. And there's only just like 5 weeks left to get all of these. I think we mentioned this last week. The designer paper, we don't have the last chance list yet, although it's coming very soon. Yes. Potentially it could be out already, but we don't know as we're filming. But I don't think it's going to be until closer to April 1st. But we always know that designer paper, that never carries over. So this gorgeous paper is only going to be around for another 4 or 5 weeks. So don't wait to get it and all of your favorite coordinating accessories in this suite. It's just so gorgeous, the whole thing. You just need to use the item number to get it all.
Really, especially these gems. I love these.
Yes. They're like the exact same size as your favorite iridescent gems. They're just different colors. So
That is so true. That is so true. I hope these carry over.
yeah, I hope so too. Those are the kinds of things that do tend to carry over. Sometimes the stamp sets and dies, sometimes the ribbon, sometimes the specialty paper. So we might see that shimmer paper, although it does have soft succulent. So
Yeah, I
maybe
bet
not.
that won't carry
Sometimes the
over.
specialty paper, but the regular designer paper,
It'll be gone.
yeah, almost never we see that carryover. So that's definitely going to be gone. So this one's so special. Make sure that you grab a pack or two so that you have enough to last you for the next 20 years or however long it takes you to use designer paper.
Oh, you're
Oh,
funny.
are you the kind of people, leave a comment. Do you hoard your designer paper or do you use it up? I always try to use it as much as I can. I try to use it up so that when the new paper comes out, I'm ready to like switch
Yep.
over and use something new. But I know some of you have quite a paper collection at home. So I hope that you use it. I hope that we inspire you to cut it up and to use it on your cards. This one especially, you have 4 of each sheet. So even if you save 1 of each, like that's still 36 sheets to use up.
That's true. Well, we hope you've enjoyed these, and we look forward to seeing you next week when we have, what are we doing next week? We have to talk.
I think it's the sea turtle next week.
Oh, you're
Yes.
right. Sea turtles. You are so right. Sea turtles. That's another fun one. So
yeah, I'm really excited. It's a reversible stamp set, so you can like turn it over and stamp with the back. Like it's kind of a really fun concept. We can't wait to share with you next week. So make sure you subscribe to our channels so you don't miss out on our future Sunday stamping videos.
And until next Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie, have a wonderful week, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Mom.
Bye,
Love you.
Jay. Love you.